What up, guys? I'm going to try to make a quick video on the second part of my injector breakdown. So I'm doing tips on them. This is what I did for tips. I'm not a professional, but I'm going to try to help anybody out there that's doing this a little bit or whatever. Okay, so after you take the injectors out of your car, I'm doing tips. So keep everything clean. Always wear gloves. You want to keep the oils off these parts. They're very sensitive to everything. Second, I took a brass brush, cleaned the upper, lower halves of the injector, and I used brake cleaner. Clean it off, wipe it off. Then you need a 1 1/16 socket and a breaker bar. You clamp the upper half on a vise and use the breaker bar and break the two apart, lefty-loosey. So don't fully take it apart. Bring it back to your bench. Get everything clean. Get it set. I suggest like a lint-free rag or something very clean. Then set your injector down. Screw the two upper and lower and half apart. And then this is what you're going to have. Okay. This is what the nozzles look like. This is the old nozzle. Look how dirty it is after 305,000 miles. These were shot. Okay, when you get your new nozzles, don't take this pin out of the nozzle. Leave that in. All I did was use a little bit of new unused transmission fluid as a lubricant and just put a little bit in my new nozzle. Also, take the upper and lower halves and carefully use something like a soft brush or anything to clean out thoroughly the inner and upper portions of these things. You want to make sure everything's clean inside and out. Once you do that, once you feel that you've cleaned it to its full potential, I like to use a little bit of brake cleaner through these holes to make sure everything's out. After all that, then you're going to take your new tips, carefully put them in the lower half. So that's the tip right there. 7 and 6 is your tip. This is the lower housing. Carefully place that down in the housing. Then install, this is a spacer facing that way onto your tip nozzle. And then you're going to do this intermediate shim between your spring and the spacer. Then your spring. Then your little shim. These may need to be changed after you pop test, but for now, just assemble it the way you took everything apart to keep it simple. Okay, and then after you do all that, carefully put it back together, screw it as much as you can together tight. You're going to want to torque it to 80 Newton meters or 59 foot-pounds of torque. And that's it, guys. After you tighten everything up and get it back together, that's what it should look like, your new nozzles. And before you put it in the car, I highly, highly recommend it, is pop test them. Either buy a pop tester offline or take it to a shop that can do it. This way, your injectors will fire right and your car will run great. Okay, guys, take care. Enjoy.